Hey, deserving listeners, Jenny and Sumit on 90 Day Fiancé. Let's watch. My name is Dr. Kirk Honda. I'm a therapist and a professor. As I always say, don't use YouTube as a replacement for therapy. If you need a therapist, get one. You deserve it. Let's watch.
Wants to hear in her life the man that she loves. This is what every woman wants to hear. We want to be married and we want to be together forever so I can stay in India and I don't have to leave. And I just don't know how we're going to get there. I don't know how you're going to get past your family so it can happen for us.
So again, I want to point out the healthy and functional behavior that this couple is exhibiting. We see Jenny is afraid that Sumit will be prevented from marrying her because of his family. It's happened once before and she's worried about it again, which makes a lot of sense. But instead of transforming that fear and hurt into anger and hostility, she is sticking with the primary emotions and expressing that. That gives him a chance to rise to the occasion, move towards her, hug her, reassure her, and then her feeling will diminish a little bit, I'm guessing. Her fears will diminish, her hurt will diminish. It's not going to go away until they are getting married, but this is very functional. They're in a very difficult situation. From what I understand, Sumit's family is extremely traditional, and from what I understand, the tradition in their part of India, or maybe throughout India, is that one, you do not marry a foreigner, you have to marry a fellow Indian person. Two, your parents have to approve, and three, they have to be someone your age, or actually younger. That's actually what someone else said, is as a man, you marry someone younger, a woman that's younger. And four, it has to be an arranged marriage. And Sumit's going against all those things. And I'm imagining that the parents are quite forceful in their enforcement of tradition. There's certain, me living in Seattle, I don't understand any of that. I don't understand any of that culture. But I do understand enough about living in different cultures that just because I don't understand it doesn't mean that it is wrong or something. It's just a different way of living. There's pros and cons to it, I suppose. And people in India, for example, or actually all y'all out there, if you come from a tradition that's like this or you know about it, comment below. Let me know your experiences because I'd like to learn. But I'm guessing that for the parents, there's a lot of different factors. Maybe we'll hear about it, but shame on the family, which of course is important really to anyone, and particularly to certain cultures. The United States, we don't really care that much about that. We care about it a little bit in general, but we don't care, if we have a family member that has done something wrong or shameful, we don't necessarily think about it as reflecting on us, because we in mainstream American culture are more individualistic. We're much more independent from anything, really, family included. I mean, we still have a little bit of that feeling, but other cultures around the world, and I'm guessing India included, are the opposite, where if someone in your family does something wrong that's seen as wrong or shameful, then that absolutely reflects on you. And not only are you going to be extremely upset about that, you are going to take it upon yourself to force your family member to do something different. So for Sumit to marry someone like her age, being a foreigner, that would be extremely shameful to him and thus to the entire family. I'm guessing that's part of it. Also, I'm guessing that the parents are concerned about having children, that they might not be able to have kids, and so that would be a concern. And again, that can be a cultural difference as well. In the United States, we definitely have a tradition of being concerned about that, but other places around the world might be more concerned about that. For family legacy reasons, for cultural shame reasons, for reasons of just wanting children so that they can take care of you when you're older or whatever. I'm guessing another reason why they would be concerned about this is that they might believe that this isn't going to work, and so they're very concerned for their son. They have an idea of if you marry someone from a different country, then it's very unlikely to work. And maybe they even have some anecdotal data to back up that claim. It doesn't mean that it's right. But, I mean, given what we've seen thus far, they seem to be extremely compatible and in love with each other legitimately and able to communicate about their feelings and take care of each other. So if any of the couples on this show that I think parents should sign off on, I think this is one of those couples. And while I'm at it, I think we should talk about racism. Racism in the United States, I know what racism is like in the United States, not only for people like me who are Asian American, but really any BIPOC person of color who is treated unfairly because of perceptions of their race, either from stereotyping or prejudice or hatred. And this results in the United States in discomfort and racism against people of different races being in a couple or marrying. And we've come a long way from the past. I am mixed race. My dad comes from Japanese ancestry and my mom comes from Northwestern Europe ancestry. I want to be very clear that both of my family lines have been in the United States for at least 120 years. So I'm very American, if that means anything to anyone. But around the world, there are similar ideas of racism that will cause people to be very concerned about people marrying outside of their race, marrying someone from another country. And it's racist, and it is assuming a lot of things. So I don't know, and let me know in the comments if you do know about this, but it's possible, let's just speculate, that Sumit's family is racist against white people, racist against white women, sexist against white women. I don't know. What sort of ideas would they have that she is going to ruin his life, that she's selfish? I mean, I'm just trying to imagine the stereotypes about Americans, that they don't care about culture. So what kinds of ideas and stereotypes and prejudices do they have against Americans or white people that would also fuel the discomfort and hatred and disapproval of Sumit marrying her?
Because you never intended on having a ring ceremony with me.
No, it's not like that. I will marry you.
When? How are you going to marry me? You won't tell your parents. If you love me and you want to be with me, then do what you say you're going to do. Do it. He promised me this time we were going to.
So I recently did a deep dive on procrastination, an episode on procrastination, an audio episode available to patrons only, and I went through all the various different reasons why people procrastinate. Usually people think it's a lack of willpower or that you are lazy, which is almost never the reason, or it's a minor factor in why people will delay things irrationally. And we see for Sumit, he is delaying something in an irrational manner. From what we can tell, he genuinely loves Jenny and genuinely wants to marry her. And she is on a time crunch because her visa runs out in a month or two. And if she doesn't get married in that time, she has to go back to the United States. And this has happened once before. They've been together for, I think, 7 years. I think that's what they said. So this is coming down to the wire. And he is putting off. He is delaying. Why would he do that? Is it because he's lazy? Is it because he is a no-good con artist? That's possible. I don't think that's what's happening. Is it because he lacks willpower? No. If we're to believe his story, which I think is credible, it is that he is terrified of his parents' anger towards him, of his family disowning him, of his family yelling at him, as some other consequence, maybe his entire community. I mean, just imagine that your parents, and I didn't show the clip, but Jenny's daughter and her daughter's wife came to India, and the daughter, Christina, said, "This is similar to what I went through because I, as a gay woman, had to come out. And I was in a similar boat as you are. And my mom didn't react that well to it when I came out to her. But I came out anyway because I have to be me. And this is the right thing to do. And even though I had consequences coming out, not only to my family, but to the community, I did it anyway because it was the right thing to do. And I need to be me." And so similarly for Sumit, he has to come out to his family and say, "I am going to marry a white older woman from the United States." Now, I don't know the consequences. I'm guessing for him, the consequences for this are severe, and he is delaying because of that. But it is, of course, irrational to delay it because he wants to marry her, and there's no sense in delaying it because you're just delaying the inevitable. And the closer you get to that date where she has to go back, bad things could happen. I mean, I've seen enough of this show to know that even if he does do it now, tell the parents and they sign all the papers, they still could run into a barrier with the law in India regarding getting married anyway. So he needs to do it ASAP in order to make sure that they have enough time to do all the paperwork and all that, I'm guessing. So there's that. There are other reasons why people will procrastinate, though. Personality reasons. Reasons like you have schemas that are baked into your personality based on early childhood experiences that really cause people to procrastinate often. Dependency, believing that there's something deeply wrong with you, and or believing that you're a lazy person, or believing you don't deserve to have the life that you want. There's a lot of reasons why people will also delay, not because of an outside influence, but because of an inside schema influence based on their childhood. And you can listen to my whole deep dive on that. But maybe we'll get some hints as to why he is exactly procrastinating. We would imagine, of course, it's the parents and all their anger, but maybe there are other personality reasons.
Over another.
You have to.
What do you think? She'd give up a lot for me and keep on thinking, then we were gonna get married.
Make a damn decision.
It is very unfair to her.
And he just articulated it that he has to make a decision between her or his family, which is an extremely unfortunate position that the family is putting him into. Now, maybe I could be convinced culturally that it is justified. Comment below and let me know if you think it is justified or not. But that is the choice that he has to make, and I believe him. It seems as though he's in that situation. And I think that's another reason why he is delaying, why he's procrastinating, is because in this state right now, he actually has both. This is another reason why people will procrastinate sometimes is, okay, there's two options I have. One option is to keep things the same and not do anything. In this situation, what do I have? Well, I have my girlfriend, my spouse, my relationship. I have Jenny. But she's angry at me sometimes, but she knows that I love her. I also have my parents and my family, and everything's good. Or I tell my parents what's up, and I still have Jenny. She's less angry at me, right? But I have Jenny now, but I get Jenny who's a little bit happier, but I completely have to give away all of my family and all of my community. So that's another reason why people will procrastinate. And what happens is you become frozen in fear and frozen in this worry about stepping off of that cliff. And the delusion that people will, I don't know if Sumit has this, but, there are moments where I think he really feels he's like, oh yeah, I really have to do this. But I think there's a possibility that once that subsides and him and Jenny go back to their regular lives, that he quickly just compartmentalizes that notion and tricks himself through defense mechanisms that everything's fine. And I have Jenny and I have my family and everything's great. And he will deny the fact that there's a deadline 2 months from now and that he could lose Jenny forever if he doesn't do something right away. But we do this all the time. We go into denial for various reasons, and we could see why he would in this situation.
I have a big secret which I was hiding from Jenny. And the big secret is that I'm married.
Wait, what? So, what? So that's another huge barrier, but what? Wow. So he's married, and wow. Maybe this is why y'all wanted me to watch this. Is he a scumbag? Is he a con artist? Is there something up with this guy? I mean, he seemed genuine, so I don't know. Let's reserve judgment. Let's find out if there's some explanation for this. Maybe the relationship was over a long time ago and he's just legally married. We didn't we run into that with Rebecca and Zied, right? That, yeah, I'm still technically married, but we haven't been together romantically for years. Maybe there's a situation like that. Maybe it was an arranged marriage that he never wanted. I don't know. Let's watch.
Oh my God, like I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Why did he marry somebody if he loved me? If he's telling me he loves me all these years, every single day, how did he marry somebody else? How is it possible to do that? How do you do that?
Yeah. Now, if you have massive cultural pressure and family pressure to do something, then that could be one reason. Or you're a con artist and you don't care, or there's something else different about your personality so that you have a really hard time acknowledging even to yourself what's happening. There are people that will have conditions like that. So, yeah, I think for Jenny right now, it's interesting to hear the tone of her voice. I think for her, she still believes that he loves her and that there must be a rational reason, because I think if she really absorbed what's happening or didn't believe that Sumit loved her, I think she would have gotten on a plane and flown back to the United States right away. Like, wait, you're married? Okay, we're done. That's it. So I think she is mostly believing like there must be a reason for this. There must be a explanation for this. So maybe there is. All right, well, that does it for that episode. If you didn't know already, we are on Discord and Facebook and Instagram and Reddit, so you can join us and join the conversation there and in the comments below if you want. And always be nice to each other, because I'd like to think that my community is made up of nice people. So be respectful, give people the benefit of the doubt. And everyone out there, please take care of yourself, because you deserve it. You really, really do.